Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear doctor.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often wound or hurt your daughter by mistake?
No. I always thought it was Carol's clumsiness that caused these incidents. Maybe it's a family trait, Doctor.
You really believe it's just bad luck and being clumsy, then?
Of course, Doctor. What else could it be? I have nothing to hide.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now. But she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
Why would
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price, especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
May I look?
It's always a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Reed. Take all the time you need. Dr. Reed, I am glad. Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk with some...
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Dr. Reed,
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
Is it true you often hurt yourself, Carol?
Yes, it's true. I try to behave, I really do. But one way or another, I always end up injured or wounded. I'm so stupid.
Why would you be stupid?
It's like I can't help getting under my mother's feet. That's how I end up being pushed, cut, or burned. You see, I'm a stupid girl, really.
When exactly do these accidents happen?
Ever since I was little. That's why I need to stay with Mum. I'm not capable of taking care of myself.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you ever think about getting married, now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Goodbye, Carol.
Good morning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
You are responsible for your daughter's many injuries and scars, Carolyn. You brutalize her, don't you?
How could I abuse my own flesh and blood? This is nonsense. It would be like hurting myself.
You really believe you've done nothing wrong, don't you? How long has this been going on for? I should have seen it when you were my patients.
Seen what? Child abuse? Are you mad, Dr. Reed? I dedicated my whole life to my precious Carol. She is a part of me.
Yes. Even her name is just a part of yours. This is a terrible tragedy. Something of an unknown disorder. My God. Abuse that comes from overwhelming love.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How dare you say something like that? What kind of a monster do you think I am?
Speak to me, Carolyn. Why do you behave like this? How does it make you feel to hurt Carol before cajoling her?
I don't know. It makes me feel good to take care of my daughter. I need to feel useful. No one ever takes care of me. I need someone to take care of me.
Do you realize Carol is a person? Not a toy, not a doll. The poor girl would put her hand in a flame to please you. You are both trapped in this toxic relationship.
Carol and I are perfectly happy. Leave us be. How stupid I was to believe you could be a suitable husband.
If no one stops you, you will kill her. You will keep on torturing her out of smothering love until she breaks or you hurt her too much.
How dare you? I carried Carol inside of me for 9 months. You men can't understand the bond between a mother and her child. I could kill for her.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Good evening, young lady.
My mother always prefers when people simply call me Carol.
You need to understand you are in danger, Carol. Your mother is responsible for all your injuries.
That's a lie. She has always taken good care of me. She only gets irritated when I get under her feet. It's my fault. My mum loves me so much.
Yes, Carol. Your mother believes she loves you as much as you're convinced she loves you. But you are both trapped in a toxic relationship that puts you in danger.
What are you saying? That she lied to me all these years? That she wants me to be miserable? My mother has dedicated her life to my safety.
Your mother is terribly sick, Carol. She suffers from one of the most sadistic attitudes I've ever encountered, and tortures you with a twisted sense of love.
No, my mum loves me and only wants the best for me. It's my fault if I can never do anything right. She deserved a better girl than me.
Goodbye, Carol.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir.
Good evening, Miss...
You know you can call me Carolyn.
Goodbye for now, Miss Pratt.
Dr. Reed.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know...
Good morning. Good evening.
Poor me. Oh no, poor me. I'm dying. For real. No one will cry for me now.
Good evening, young lady.
My mother always prefers when people simply call me.
Goodbye.
Good morning.
It's locked, all right.
Good evening, sir.
It's locked. Good evening.
My mother... Mother, where are you? I can't see. I'm so afraid, Mother.
It's locked, all right.
Mary? Oh, my dear. How are you Tonight. How is your...
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
Goodbye, Avery. Please.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan.
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back already. Good, good.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames, and then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
I was attacked, Mother. And I've not been the same since.
The important thing is that you finally returned home. I was worried, you know. You were the last member of the family of whom I had no news. Even Mary comes more often than you.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon. Jonathan, my dear, bring me my glasses. I feel like reading.
Yes?
Good evening.
Calhoun, tell me about your relationship with Doris Fletcher.
Oh, Doris. Cold fire and burning ice trapped in a perfect body. Our passion was as intense as it was brief. What an actress.
How did you meet her?
On a boat to France before the war. She was thinking about a career in Paris, and I was eager to try French gastronomy. We both returned disappointed.
I expect you've seen her on stage, too.
She really is the best actress of her generation. Such frailty and such strength at the same time. I hope she'll play again soon. She's been away for too long.
You sound surprisingly sad. Have you regrets?
I think of her as a divine dish. I'm glad I was able to taste it, but I regret I could only get a bite of her mystery.
You really loved her, then?
She fascinated me, Dr. Reed. I can't imagine what she must have endured through her life to reach such a level of emotion and sensibility. Death may be the most disappointing dish I have ever tasted. So insipid, so cold.
Good evening, Miss Ashby.
And good evening.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy.
Good evening, old chap.
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not...
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good.
Forgot what it feels like to live.
rats.
Have you recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
He is dead, I've heard. I wish I was dead too.
I must... Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan. You know that you are always welcome here. But, what do you... You know that you are always welcome here. But, at this hour of night...
It's locked. I cannot enter.
safer places to... Over there! There's one of them.
You again?
Do you have recent news of
The place is all right,
Well,
Giselle will... Glad to see you again.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her. Plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Miss...
I know I promised you I'd make everything right now. You again?
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between your two versions.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologise.
Giselle, I know you sleep at Shornhampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad, like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God and to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
Are you worried?
Chaos is rising, Dr. Reed. This city is about to crumble.
You almost sound happy.
This world needs to die, Dr. Reed. And from the ashes, a new one will emerge with more equity and freedom.
Well, I'll...
Glad to see you again.
Goodbye.
This Seymour worries.
Yes, Doctor?
Farewell, Sean.
You again?
Well,
For Christ's sake, get a grip. Look at yourself.
It's quite hard to do without a mirror. Can I borrow yours? Oh, wait. We don't have a house.
Yes, we're poor, but there is work to do. Honest money waiting to be earned.
I had honest work before I was fired by those fascist pigs, remember? So let me drink in peace.
You were fired for the bottle, not for your political opinions. When will you realise that?
Maybe I do drink too much. And maybe it did cost me my job. But the struggle is real, and don't you dare undermine it. You again?
Tell me why there is such resentment between you and your sister, Lottie.
She recently fell under the sad saint's influence. Like she's an angel, and I'm the bad, drinking sister.
Lottie sees herself as an angel. What do you mean?
These days, Lottie feels compelled to help people and follow Sean Hampton's example. What does that make me look like?
It sounds like you may be jealous of your sister.
Of course I am. It's me who fought for our family. It's me who got fired because I led these strikes. And now I'm the bad seed and she's the good angel.
Why would you be the bad sister?
I'm not a bad woman, you know. I'm tough. I get things done. But I have this rage. It makes me do things.
What kind of things?
I don't know, Dr. Reed. It's like, since I can't change this world, I'd rather destroy myself before the world destroys me.
Well, I'll leave you.
Glad to see you.
Why do you and your sister Giselle have such opposing views, Lottie?
Giselle whines she lost her job due to her unionist activities, which started her drinking. Truth is, she got fired because she's an alcoholic.
And you don't share your sister's views?
On the contrary, I totally believe that workers need to unite to fight. I just disagree with Giselle's hatred for all wealth and riches.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that you were an automatic arsehole because you were born into a good family.
Perhaps your sister's addiction to alcohol is the result of her despair, but not the cause.
Perhaps you're right. But I'm tired of her playing the outraged and martyred social fighter while I earn money for both of us.
Don't you think she wants to get better?
I believe she knows her alcoholism is a worry to me. And that's another reason why she continues to drink so much.
Lottie, your sister told me you are helping Sean Hampton's charities. Why are you so discreet about it?
I am just trying to do my best. Mr. Hampton deserves our support. These are bad times. We should all help each other.
Your sister seems annoyed by your attitude. Perhaps even jealous.
Life has been tough for Giselle, and she bears a grudge. But she is no different to me. She is just more depressed.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
You again?
Are you worried?
Chaos is...
You almost...
This world needs...
Well...
soon be empty.
I promised you I'd make
Yes,
everything
Doctor?
right now.
Farewell, Sean.
Glad to see you. My poor sister. What will happen to her now that I'm gone? Giselle, I'm so sorry.
You again? What a waste of life. I only managed to be hated by all the people I loved.
It's locked.
Yes, Doc?
Fair.
At least you survived the Great War. I feared the worst.
It's locked.
Get them weapons ready! We found one! best stay back, sir. Stupid fucking beast! God walks with me. Die!
It's locked, all right. Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked.
Jonathan, my dear, I can never thank you enough.
Thank me for what? You're nothing but the prince of a fallen kingdom. Pembroke is a graveyard, littered with corpses and skulls.
Indeed, but is it not your own doing, Jonathan? How could it end, truly, when you have plunged your fangs into so many throats hereabouts?
What about the Brotherhood? Will they eject you?
I remain a member. I have information to provide now. Intelligence from the other side, if I may say so.
They won't banish you?
Not so long as I behave.
Have you news of Geoffrey McCullum? I'm sure both of you would have quite an interesting discussion after recent events.
He left the hospital without being treated for the severe beating you gave him. We'll meet again soon enough.
Does not the prospect of meeting him as a vampire thrill you? The two old enemies reunited post-mortem.
Maybe we could even share a glass of wine. I really don't know if he will accept his condition. He has spent his life beheading leeches, you know.
How do you feel since you changed?
Absolutely fine. Did you know I can determine the health of every patient or nurse just by looking at him? Fascinating.
Do you feel the hunger?
Yes. It's very peculiar, not like mortal hunger at all. It's like I'm never sated. Fortunately, blood is no rare commodity at Pembroke.
Have you taken a life yet, Edgar?
Don't you think that's a private matter? I would not ask you such an indiscreet question.
What will you do now that you are immortal?
Experiment, my dear colleague. I have an eternity to make scientific progress. I could be the only scientist able to undertake extreme experiments upon himself.
What kind of experiments?
Who knows? Nervous shock, brain damage, pain and recovery. There's almost no limit to what my body can now endure. I could be the next Henry Head.
My God, Edgar. Did you learn nothing from your forays into folly?
I have, I swear. No more experiments on mortals. See? I said mortals. How quickly the mind adapts.
Goodbye, Edgar. I'm...
prey is mine now! You're mine!
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Ichor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but... do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth. Are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your enemy.
Wait! No! Elizabeth! Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
You again. What do you want?
Have you heard?
That bastard's become...
My sweet queen, who will protect you from yourself? Will you cry for me?
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Can I see...
As long as you have money. Hello again.
My boys will avenge me. In the end, I will laugh at you.
Welcome back, Doctor.
Are you...
It may surprise you, but...
I wish I shared your
It's not optimism. Gangs...
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit.
My pub, Sabrina, my friends. What will they become without me? If only I could tell her, tell them. Too late. Too late.
Damn it. I think Drink understood.
You still working at this hour?
I know you've been learning to use a gun, Sabrina. What are you up to?
I just want to feel safe when I go home at night.
You should learn to relax a little. To be in a permanent state of anxiety can have seriously detrimental effects on your health.
I don't care. Next time some drunk bastard tries to drag me into the yard, he'll be the one bleeding.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
I don't fear you. You did not defeat me. I was Sabrina Cavendish. I did not surrender.
Good evening.
What? No one will ever know what I did. I'm gonna die with blood on my hands. No one will remember me.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Of course. I'm not sure the epidemic is what we're... What can I do for...
Aren't you
Hey,
Mrs. Fishburne?
I am... Should I have turned my Seymour in? Was my crime to love my son?
Evening.
Evening, Mr.
Rufus, tell me what you really think about Seymour Fishburne.
Seymour, he just scares me. A lot. Actually, he scares many people round here, even big fellows.
You mean his brutality is infamous? Even in this shady part of town. That's impressive.
Yes, sir. How someone like that can be related to Mrs. Fishburne, well, it beggars belief.
The patience of a mother for her child knows no limits. None of us would be here otherwise.
You're right. And I certainly didn't mean any disrespect to the woman who takes such good care of me.
So long. Good evening, Mr.
Yeah.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
Death is an appropriate punishment for your crimes, Seymour Fishburne. Cherish every day that you spend as a free man.
It might be my mum's wish that I end up swinging from a hangman's noose, but she wouldn't want to be the one who ties a knot round my neck.
Seymour, why are you scaring young Rufus?
I don't like his act to gain me mother's trust. I don't like it at all. Little bugger is like a fly-around shit.
That's a very cynical point of view. There appears to be little room for kindness in your heart.
I don't believe in kindness nor innocence, sir. The boy is either a fool or a hypocrite who hides his hand well.
Aren't you worried about...
I've heard armed men have started patrolling the city, even killing the sick to stop the epidemic. Starting to like this city again.
Goodbye, Miss... Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr.
Heard any...
I heard that... So what they said about me was true. I really was Rufus the Curse, destined to suffer until I die.
Good evening.
Yeah. You tricked me good, Doctor. Tell me, who will take the blame for your murders now that I'm dead?
We don't need...
Good evening.
Good evening.
Andrew was right. Monsters exist. The guard will nail you down, Vampyr. My son will kill you.
This is Ascalon's domain. What's up, boys? To endure. Ascalon's law. What's he? He's a killer. Fuck it!
No civilians allowed. What's the leech, boys?
This one's mine!
Fuck, it's dead! Fuck!
Good evening, young.
There's no need to...
Show me what you have. Good evening.
There's no need...
Goodbye. Good evening.
Of course, So...
Are you...
Too much noise, too much shouting. It keeps me up. Is it really gunfire I'm hearing? Jack, my son, he got killed. I remember all my life. Oh, the joy, the love. What a life. Thank you.
Good evening, young.
There's no need...
It's time to confess, Martin. You've exploited Miss Gillingham's weakness to your own advantage, have you not?
All I've done is smile at her and be kind to her. I've done no other harm than giving her what she needed. This is no crime.
You really are convinced you did nothing wrong? Young man, you are a fascinating case of shameless selfishness.
You can blame my folks for that. They taught me never to expect nothing from anyone except lies.
So it's bad parenting, then? How convenient. Where are your parents?
6 feet under, I suppose. When the flu had weakened my father enough for him to be too weak to punch me, I figured it was time to run away.
Is that why you let them die of the flu? Because your father was beating you?
When the epidemic started, last summer, I begged them to leave town. Neighbors were dying, houses were looted, but they chose to stay.
Do you have any regrets about what happened?
I haven't got regrets, but sometimes I'd like to make sure they're gone. Dead for good. Like, it helps me sleep.
Show me what you have. Good evening, young.
There's no... I was just pretending. I caused no harm. I could have taken good care of that old lady.
can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes, Doctor?
Farewell.
can't protect the whole city. It's hard enough to cover the docks by myself.
Good evening, Mr.
Doctor!
Do you need my treating a vampire?
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Killed by a real vampire. How unexpected. Thank you, Dr. Reed. For in the end, you made me fulfill my destiny.
This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their stuff. This place has been ransacked. This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. This place has been ransacked.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies. I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
Why did you choose me?
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical threat.
Speak to me of this ancient threat.
The blood of hate, vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger and anger.
What kind of modern answer?
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you. Only you can save this land.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Myrddin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
Blood? You are made of blood? Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
I'm here to stop Harriet Jones. She is the original carrier. The well from which this corruption flows.
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in, and driven by the blood of hate.
What is the blood of hate?
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the hunger in you, the need for blood, the will to strike and to punish, to spit in the eye of God.
Tell me about this disaster, creature. I know London fell victim to such a thing in 1666.
A disaster is pure anger born through blood. Its name means bad star, for they only appear when our queen unleashes her unquenchable wrath upon the world.
And who is this queen?
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
She has been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even mine. But know this, she is a vengeful mother.
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster is at the same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own words.
A disaster is the pure will of our queen. Whenever she dreams of walking this earth, she awakes in this putrid vessel.
I only wish to know how to put an end to this epidemic.
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. Geoffrey McCullum used such an antidote when he tried to kill me. I found the recipe.
You cannot expect to withstand the effects of the blood of hate without such a serum. I shall let you pass only once you possess it. Greetings again, my child.
Not yet.
You cannot expect to withstand the effects of the blood of hate without such a serum. I shall let you pass only once you possess him.
This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. This place has been ransacked. It's locked, all right. Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Are you from Ascalon? I don't care! This is now my domain, young Eckert! dare you interfere with my hunt? So weak.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to improvise. Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
All is already lost. The city verges on collapse. The epidemic has spread so widely. Disgusting skulls are everywhere.
The epidemic could be stemmed if I destroy the original carrier. England can be saved, but only with Marshall's blood.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
No one can interfere with my mission. I won't allow it. I have made too many sacrifices in my search for answers.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands. You again?
I have a few...
You hold in that vial the most sacred blood of all. I can help you no more. We all count on you, Dr. Reed, for tragedy is imminent.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage. It's locked, all right.